If you're running an agency and you're starting to gain some traction, probably you have thought of, okay, maybe I need to start hiring. Wait, wrong. Wait. Because there is something else that we need to do before. So in this video, I'm going to show you how Notion can help you, one, postpone when you are gonna have to hire people, and second, how you can gain more value from the people that you hire. Sounds like a plan? Let's get into it. Look, this is a typical challenge that every agency has. They're afraid, and I'm included there. I was afraid of increasing my headcount because then this will mean that my profit margin will be reduced. It was because scaling a company just through brute force is not efficient. For a service-based business, it depends where you live. The revenue per employee should stay at around 150 to 250K per month per employee. That's the revenue. And what's wrong with hiring very soon and just using brute force? Well, because we tend to do the things the way that we were doing them when we were by ourselves in our company, where everything is disorganized, we do many things manually, and there are no systems built for a team to work in it. So what are the features of Notion that can make hiring even unnecessary, or if not, a walk in the park? The first one is project management. For example, this is the one that I have implemented inside of my Notion workspace where all my team has access to it. Here we can see a product that I'm about to launch. Here we can see an internal project, which is to implement artificial intelligence fully in our agency. There's a personal one, which is to own a house. And every single one of these projects have a list of tasks assigned to it, with who is the assignee, when we need to do them, and all that information. So with this, we at least make sure that all the information is in one place and is organized and people know what they need to get done when. But another cool feature that we can use in Notion, that in fact I was using it yesterday with one of my team members, is the timeline feature, and this is very useful to plan things. So right now we're in the middle of building our school community and we are using this view to plan the launch. We spent like 4 hours planning this, and this is what we got. We got this timeline view where we can see all the tasks that each of us need to do before the final launch. And now the only thing that we need to do is to log in here, do the tasks that we schedule for each day, and that's it. We can make sure that the launch is gonna go on time. This reminds me to one of my clients. His name is James, and after we defined his whole process and built his project management system, he was able to hire his first web developer. He was a web developer himself from South Africa, and thanks to the system, all the service fulfillment in his agency was delegated. So just by implementing this, you could already be ready for hiring if you need to. Okay, second thing that we can do with Notion is automating processes. If you do a quick audit of all the things that you do every week inside of your business, you may see that you tend to do a lot of the same tasks over and over again. Or even worse, you may be doing things manually that could be automated. For example, onboarding your clients, or sending always the same email to your clients, or sending contracts. All this could be automated. So for example, for all these tasks that we always do, we can create them automatically in Notion by clicking in here and creating one template that gets repeated every X number of days. So now imagine if your team members also have to do things in a recurring basis, all these tasks are going to be created automatically for you and assigned to them. But that's not the only thing that Notion can offer. Notion already has also built-in automations. So for example, now here I'm logging when each of the tasks have been done, but we can build review flows, so whenever a task arrives to a certain status, it is assigned to the manager. All these little things that before we need to do manually, now can be automated and standardized. And finally, my favorite, even if this is not in Notion, but Notion is related, you can see in all of them, is using automation tools like make.com. Here, Notion still remains the central hub, but then we are connecting Notion to other tools that we may be using in our business. For example, here I have this one that is logging all sales that I have from Gumroad. Or this one is sending an email, like the same email, to all of my clients whenever they want to do this workshop with me. Or this one that is using an AI tool to send the call summaries that I have in Zoom over to Notion. So here the sky is the limit, but this is one of the highest leverage things that we can do before hiring anyone. In fact, all these automations remind me of a client. Her name is Kalan, and she was selling a very high ticket offer. So she was getting very anxious whenever she was sending the payment link to her client because she wanted to respond very fast. She didn't want the client to spend, I think it was like 25K or something like this, and just wait for maybe 8 hours because she was sleeping until the client received an answer. So one of the things that we did was to automate the response that once the client paid, he rapidly received an email with some onboarding form and everything was already set up, like the Slack channel, like the Google Drive links and everything. Everything was set up for the client, so the client knew that things worked, that he paid and something happened. So he was not just waiting for Kalan to wake up. Oh, and by the way, we are in the middle of building our school community where we are going to be helping business owners systemize and automate their agencies. Right now, we have the waitlist open, but the spots are limited, and only the people in the waitlist are going to be able to get the launch offer. So head over to the description of the video where you can see how to join the waitlist now. Back to the video. Now, number 3, we can enhance our team communication inside of Notion. Because remember, inside of Notion, we can have comments and we can reply to comments. So one of the things that I love doing is to tell my clients to have conversations within the tasks database. Because this is the only way that all the information about a certain task is going to be inside of the task itself. Because people always tend to be using Slack or use WhatsApp even or something like that. If we do that, our communication is not going to be centralized in one place. And I want that Notion becomes the single source of truth for everything. And that includes tasks. Here we have an example of what I mean. This is a team of one of my clients having a conversation about a certain shipment in their case. Now imagine that this was happening outside of here. The amount of time that each one of these people are gonna spend then finding the comments that are unresponded and everything is gonna make the whole team much less efficient. And therefore, we will need to hire more people. In fact, this is the example of one of the clients that was able to also delegate his whole fulfillment process. He's on the beverage industry and they manufacture beverages. So, since the moment that we automated all the task creation and standardized the way that their team members communicate through Notion, he was able to totally step out of the whole fulfillment process, and now he's solely focused on sales. And fourth, this is not really going to help you not hire people, but when you hire people, you will know that you have hired the right people. Because Notion can also help us to track performance and growth metrics. For example, we have this dashboard. This is from one of my clients. He's in the real estate industry and he wanted to track how many people they were dialing, who they were having conversations with, how many different things they were generated, like all this. So we figured out a way to put all this information inside of this Notion dashboard. And all these KPIs are automated with all the actions that they do inside of Notion. So like this, we can create one dashboard like this one for every one of his agents, and he can understand who is performing better and who is performing worse, who should he fire and who should he keep. So to recap, how can we use Notion to prevent hires and to improve the efficiency of the hires that we do make? One, by using Notion as a project management system. Second, by automating different processes. This can be as small as the recurring creation of tasks or as big as automating full processes like the onboarding of a client. 3, enhancing the team communication, because we can use Notion to have all the conversations within it, so Notion becomes the single source of truth even for that. And 4th, we can track our team's performance and growth metrics to understand whether we should keep them or we should fire them. Okay, so that is it for this video, guys, and as always, hasta la próxima.